Hello, this is Sierra and welcome to another video. We're doing another short story in Clockwork Chronicles short stories thing. We are doing another story in book 4 of the Clockwork Chronicles. Just a short story of what happened in the scenes. Like, this one is basically what happened right after our friends go to return to the lovely world when they instantly don't. If you know that part in the story, you may continue. If you do not, be sure to figure out where it is and read it. Because you don't want to be spoiled. Because we don't know about this scene until after some events happen. So, spoilers ahead. Final warning. Let's get started. Surprise. Nettie watched as her brothers, Squish and Sam, disappeared through the woods with the two men that Santiago had assigned to go with them. She hadn't argued about the extra buff in security. In fact, none of them did. It would ensure her friends made it back home safely. Still was no guarantee. I'm sure they'll be alright, Santiago assured her, standing by her side as she looked over at him. I hope so, she admitted. There's just no telling what could be on the other side of that portal. They can handle it. I'm confident of that, Santiago told her. Besides, I'm sure you have other things you want to tend to at the moment. Me too, she said with a shrug. How about I take you to your friends and let them have a little fun with it? Let you guys have a little fun while I am off doing my thing. You sure you won't be far in case we do need you? She asked with uncertainty. Of course, Nettie, Santiago promised. That's my job. She gave him a small smile as she followed the man back towards town, spotting some of her friends not too far away. She could imagine just how much things had changed since they'd gotten to this point. There were some bodyguards that clearly could not be trusted. Hopefully, they wouldn't be able to hurt anyone else after what they'd attempted to do. She shuddered as she shook the thought out of her mind. Her friends were safe. She was safe. There was nothing she needed to be scared of. She looked up at the clear blue sky, admired its simplicity and beauty. Something about it seemed magical, almost otherworldly, except she knew very well that it wasn't. This was her home. It was wonderful. Hey, Nettie, Martin said cheerfully, striding up to meet her, as Santiago began walking a few paces away, giving them some much-needed space. Hey, she said, feeling her heart flutter as she looked at him. Martin looked especially handsome today, and she couldn't seem to put the word what it was. Had he done something to his hair? His demeanor? She wasn't sure. Something on your mind today? The man asked her curiously, as Nettie noticed Santiago walk towards one of the nearby buildings, feeling a wave of unease, even though she knew he wouldn't be far. What if one of the people who tried to hurt Stampy tried to take their defeat out on her? Or hers? What if Mr. A's men were nearby? Why would they attack now with all of this backup that they had? I'm glad Stampy and the others are able to return home, she admitted. They've been on quite a journey, especially my brother. I agree, Martin replied with a nod. But I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they will be too, she said. But what about us? It's been a while since Mr. H hasn't tried anything. They've been awfully quiet, other than the fact that RJ is free from his imprisonment. She knew Martin could hear the bitterness in her tone from that last sentence. The queasiness filled her. The thought of that man. RJ had tortured and tormented her, breaking her down with pain and fear. Sam had been there to watch and help her, and it had given her a little burst of hope. Even when it all seemed like a dream, she knew it was all real. She could have died. She might have, several times, if her friends hadn't taken the moment to protect her. Without them, she probably wouldn't be standing here right now. He won't get to you, Martin told her softly. grabbing her arm gently and wrapping her into a hug. I won't let him. I know, she whispered softly. Just knowing he's out there terrifies me. He's done pretty awful things, horrible things, and I won't see him again. Neither do I, Martin frowned. But if we do, I'll show him that he has no right to put a hand on you. She managed to smile. I'm truly glad. They gazed into each other's eyes for a long moment. The bush baby wondering if the man would go for a kiss. It was a perfect moment. Sweet went. She wanted to treasure, but before either of them could bring up the courage to do so, Bush Baby heard footsteps steadily approaching them from behind. She looked away from Martin as she looked over her shoulder. A gasp caught in her throat as she saw who was approaching. It wasn't just one of Mr. A's men, but several, perhaps 3 dozen men coming towards them. Get behind me, Martin demanded her as he shoved her behind him. As the Bush Baby saw a couple of the men pull out familiar blue-green spherical objects, we could get obvious of what their intent was. I'm getting Santiago, she told her friend. As she turned to run, only to hear shattered glass as someone appeared right in front of her and went to grab her. She cried out in alarm as she attempted to dodge him, only to be grabbed by another man. Nettie! Martin cried as she looked up to see the man struggling against the stackers. She struggled against the man that held her down, trying to find some way to get him off her, when she heard a door slam open, heard more footsteps. She looked up to see Santiago and 6 other guys coming towards them. Take her to the portal, one of the men hissed, as she watched half a dozen men leave Martin and ambush Santiago as she screamed, watching him being constantly and brutally attacked. Santiago! She cried as she felt herself being pulled to her feet and dragged backward, only to be knocked sideways as Martin attempted to help her, only to be pulled back and thrown to the ground by 2 more men. Hang on! Martin called, before his voice drowned within the grunts and sneers of their attackers, taunting them. Nettie felt herself being pulled up and dragged away from it all, unable to believe what she was seeing. Martin was right. Even when it all looked like no one would be able to help her, she had to hang on to the hope that maybe someone would find her, rescue her from whatever she was about to face. Mr. A would be delighted to see you, little Bush Baby. The man holding her sneered. Let's see. What about Archie? She insisted, her legs feeling like lead as she went deeper and deeper into the woods. You're gonna have to wait to see that, the man said with a chuckle. I assure you, darling, you don't want to miss it. I'm not your darling, she snapped boldly. Very well. Who's this? But that changes nothing about your situation. You won't get away with this, she said, trying to sound defiant, sound brave. She couldn't help but remember the cuffs, the pain, the torment, the taunt from Archie. What would become of her? Was there any way for her to get out of this alive? She truly hoped so. That someone would be able to get help and find her. She didn't want to be alone. She needed something to hold on to. She wouldn't give up. She didn't want to, but if there was a way to escape, she would find it. But was there? She didn't know. That thought was scary. Not knowing what was becoming of her friends, or even what might even become of her soon, very soon. Depending on never Mr. A and his brother would waiting for her. She was pretty sure she did not want to miss it. She did want to miss it. To be safe, away from those men. But she had no choice. That didn't mean she was hopeless. There was still hope. There's always one. And she would find it. Anyway, we're gonna have to end that episode there. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah. It was pretty interesting. If you don't know the rest of the story, then go ahead and read that up too, because that too much. These stories happen in the middle of the book, so if you know the story, then you know where these things take place. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.